I'm Alessandra with RevZilla, and today we're going to take a look at the Knox Hadleigh MK1 gloves available at RevZilla.com. The Knox Hadleigh MK1 gloves are going to be Knox's first women's gloves. And the reason why that's really exciting is because Knox comes from the armor world and they're really well known for what they do. So they make replacement armor, they make armored shirts, they make armored pants. I personally have one of their armored shirts and I love it. And what they're doing is moving into traditional motorcycle apparel that you can wear as an outer layer, and they're making lifestyle pieces. So what does that mean? Lifestyle pieces basically means something that you can wear on the bike that doesn't really look like it's made for motorcycling. Before we get into the details of the glove, this glove is going to come in around the $120 price point. It's going to be cowhide leather, and it's going to be waterproof as well. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. In terms of sizing, they're going to be available in a size extra small through extra large. One thing to note is that they run a little bit on the small side. So I'm typically an extra small in pretty much every European glove. So Revit, Dainese, Alpine Stars, I always wear an extra small. In these gloves, I'm a size small, so that is definitely a deviation from what's typical with European gloves. But if you're looking at the size chart, the measurements for this glove, what I measure, it does come in at a size small. So something to consider when you're looking for sizing. That said, if you are concerned about sizing, remember that orders over $39, they ship for free. And as always, if you want to see what other women's gloves are available at RevZilla, click and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So starting with the construction, as I mentioned, it's going to be cowhide leather. Cowhide is extremely durable, it's pretty beefy. It's not going to be as soft as something like a goat skin, but it is going to break in really nicely over time and really conform to your hands. It's also going to have some nubuck suede. It's going to have overlays along the fingers as well as at the palm, and it's going to have some really great protection. And as I mentioned earlier, Knox comes from the armor world, so protection is what they do best, and that's what's so exciting about this glove. So let's start at the cuff and kind of make our way down. So if we look at the cuff here, it's going to be in an accordion leather stretch. And what that does is it makes it really nice and snug to your wrist. That's important because it's a waterproof glove, right? So you want the cuff to actually slip right under your jacket cuff. That way no water gets in. If any water gets in through the zipper, because the zipper is not waterproof, there's actually a gaiter there which will allow the water to kind of just slip on out. If we move down here, the first thing that you'll notice is this knuckle insert. So it's going to be a gel knuckle insert. These right out of the box are going to feel nice and comfortable. And that knuckle is going to give you a little bit of additional protection. If we look at the side of the glove here, you'll see that there is a leather overlay, and then if we make our way down to the fingers, you'll see those nubuck suede overlays that I talked about. So one kind of odd thing is they should have probably just stretched this leather piece all the way to where the nubuck suede starts instead of exposing that seam, but it's not a huge nitpick in my mind. Looking at the fingers, those suede overlays are really more of a style piece, but it's leather over leather, so it really can't hurt. It's just going to give you a little bit more durability over time. At the end of the fingers here, one thing to note that I didn't mention earlier about sizing is that the fingers are a little bit on the longer side. So if you look, I have pretty long nails, but I don't have particularly long fingers. For someone who does have long fingers, this is going to be a good glove for you. Another thing that's like a nice little touch from Knox is that there's a rounded fingertip here. And instead of having one flat seam that goes around that probably will get, stuck under your nail or kind of like dig into your skin when you first put them on, this is gonna give you a little bit more volume, just giving you a little bit more room. It's just a little bit more of a premium detail that Knox is giving you with this glove. If we turn over, I'll call out my biggest nitpick with this glove. If you look at the thumb and pointer finger here, you'll see these Clarino suede inserts. So when I saw those, I was like, yes, they have a smartphone compatible glove, but they're actually not smartphone compatible. Just the Clarino insert. It's probably going to just make those fingers a little bit more durable over time because you do tend to use those fingers. So having an additional overlay is nice. Personally, wish that would have been smartphone compatible as well. If we move down the fingers, you'll see another nubuck suede insert. This time, it actually does have a nice function to it. It's going to give you a little bit more grip when you do have your hands on the controls, so that's nice. And then probably one of the most important parts of this glove is going to be here at the bottom of the palm. So This is what Knox calls a scaphoid protection system. These are really subtle, which is nice because you're gonna get the protection, that hard protection that is really nice to have in the event of like a slide or even a low speed crash, because typically the first thing to hit the ground is gonna be your hand because you're gonna brace yourself. Having something that's hard there is gonna allow you to slide. It's not only gonna absorb a little bit, but it's gonna take a little bit of the impact off of you. It's surrounded by a leather overlay as well that has a little bit of padding inside, making it a little bit more comfortable. And again, really not noticeable when you have a glove on. At the bottom here, you'll see this little red tag, and that says OutDry on it. And what I mentioned earlier is that this glove is waterproof. So as a former gear geek, one of the things that I geek out about is technology. The way that they waterproof this glove is actually pretty cool. So what they do is they take a seamless waterproof membrane and they actually heat bond it to the inside of the leather. So most gloves around the $120 price point are gonna have the outer material, whatever that is, a waterproof liner, and then a microfiber liner for comfort. This is just gonna have the leather, which has the waterproof membrane already laminated, heat bonded to it, and then a microfiber insert for comfort. So overall, you're gonna get a better feel for the controls, more of a tactile feel and grip, so that you're not worried about how your glove feels, and you're more focused on the road and what's around you. So all in all, I really don't have any major complaints about this glove. I mentioned the smartphone piece. That would have been nice, but otherwise it's a great first foray into a women's glove. I love the classic styling and the fact that they didn't compromise on protection. That said, if you want to see what other women who ride have to say, click the info button on your desktop or mobile device and see what they're saying in the reviews at RevZilla.com. If you want to speak to one of our lady gear geeks, give us a call at 877-792-9455 or shoot us an email at cs@RevZilla.com. Thanks for taking a look at the Hadleigh MK1 gloves. I'm Alessandra, and I'll see you on the road.